Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz here. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking bosses by the most money you can make at them per hour. Now, I did this type of video 1 whole year ago. It was one of the first videos I made, and frankly, it wasn't that great in terms of I didn't know a lot of the GPs per hour, and I was going off my personal experience. But for this video, what I'm going to do is this is going to be the maximum GP per hour. So if you're really good at the boss. So basically imagine like Virago duos with the maximum kills per hour or the maximum Solok kills per hour in duo. So this is going to be based on that and based on, you know, the maximum obtainable amount per hour. This isn't going to be based on like getting 8, you know, Telos drops in an hour or anything. This is average RNG, but I will link below the resources that I used to come up with these numbers. I used a GP per hour spreadsheet, the PVME wiki, and of course the Runescape wiki to come up with all these numbers, and then I talked to a few people as well. So we are going to get into this. Alright, so this is a complete updated list. I always get comments on my video that's over a year old. Hey, what about Karapek? What about this new boss? What about, you know, Raksha? Those weren't released when I made the old video, so I think this will be really interesting to compare the two and see how the meta has truly changed. So let's see what the most lucrative bosses in RuneScape 3 are. So first we're going to start with Araxi. Now Araxi, you know, the maximum amount of kills per hour is probably around 20, maybe a little bit less, and meaning this would make him 43 million GP per hour for Araxi. So we're going to put him right there in the 25 to 50 mil per hour tier. And of course, I'll leave links to all my resources that I use so you know the information is correct. If I made a mistake, please let me know, of course. So I went back and looked at my Dagannoth King loot video, and the loot would have been worth almost 3 times as much. So basically, Dagannoth Kings at around 125 kills per hour, 150 kills per hour, is 15 to 20 mil an hour. So before they were in the 10 mil or below per hour, and now they have moved up. They're not crazy good, but they're pretty decent. Next we have the Giant Mole, which is still around 2 to 3 mil per hour. Really bad. Not a great boss for money. So sadly, you know, we're looking for that Giant Mole rework. Next we have the KBD, which of course still isn't that great. I'm pretty sure it's a free-to-play boss, doesn't drop that great of stuff. And we can say the same for the Chaos Elemental. Of course, there's a chance of getting an extremely rare Statius Warhammer, which is way rarer than getting it at Revenants, but the Chaos Elemental is still pretty bad. And along with the Calphite Queen is around 3 mil per hour. Doesn't really drop anything that great. So the Calphite Queen is down here as well. Next, we have the Rex Matriarchs, which, you know, they're not insanely good. They're not down here though. They're around 10 to 15 mil an hour. Dagannoth Kings are actually better, which is kind of ironic seeing as you need the Dagannoth King things to make the rings. The Matriarchs were the new boss, but the Dagannoth Kings end up as the boss with the better GP per hour. So kind of funny there. Now we get to something interesting. Legios. Now, I made a video about Legios about a year back, and they were pretty bad GP per hour. The keys took so long to buy, you'd have to buy them over the price. Now, with everything, with Ascensions going up so much, Legios are actually in this tier. If you go and kill Legios, actually they're in this tier. They're 80 million GP per hour, but you need 250 kills per hour, which means you're going at an insanely fast speed, but Legios don't take that long to kill. This is assuming you get all the keys for medium price, so remember that, you get all the keys for med price, and you get all the signets on the exact drop rate. You don't go super unlucky or anything. Then you can make around, you know, 75 to 80 million GP per hour, which is pretty insane. Of course, I'll link the spreadsheet and everything below so you guys can see as well, so you know I'm not just making up these numbers. But yeah, that was pretty insane, and I'm gonna have to test these Legios out. Of course, it's a gamble because you never know. You're not gonna always go on the drop rate, and of course, not sure if I can get 250 kills per hour, but really interesting to say the least. So next we have Ambassador Solo. And Ambassador is actually 100 plus mil per hour if you get 4 solo kills per hour, which of course is very hard to do, and you need to basically get the bow pieces on drop rate, so you can't go unlucky. But with everything being so expensive, Ambassador comes out to over 100 mil per hour if you can get 4 solo kills per hour, so really insane. Next we have the Blackstone Dragon, which isn't nearly as good as the Ambassador. The drops just aren't as expensive. The normal drops aren't that much. He ranks in at about 30 to 40 mil per hour with the same amount of kills per hour. So still good, but obviously not as good. And then we have Siryu, which right now the ancient scales that Siryu drops are 1 mil each, and you average around 15 per kill in the long run. So if you get 4 kills per hour, that is 60 mil per hour on top of the normal loot. Budgets Siryu up to around 75 mil per hour. So again, elite dungeons are really, really good. I couldn't believe that the scales were 1 mil each when I was researching for this. So yeah, might have to do some Siryu soon. Next we have a new boss, which is Croesus, which I am not going to put Croesus on there because I just don't know. Croesus hasn't been out for that long. The drop rates have not been released. It depends really what team size you're in. If I had to guess, I would say around this point, the 25 to 50 mil per hour. I've heard people saying it's pretty good, especially if you're doing it with, like a 4-man team. And you split the loot and everything, so it could be pretty good, but I don't think it's in these upper tiers. But please let me know what you guys think about Croesus in the comments. I'd love to know. I just couldn't find enough information, so I didn't want to rank it, but that would be my best guess. Next is the Archglacior, which of course is a new boss as well, and we don't really know the drop rates, but I've done almost 1,000 kills. I've streaked really high. I've seen a bunch of 200 kill streaks, and I would say this is probably in this range right here, 75 mil to 100 mil per hour, assuming you can do super long kill streaks like a 200 kill streak, or you can streak pretty high, because Glacior is really, the best loot when streaking. I don't think it's in the 100 mil mark because the tier 95s aren't worth that much and the regular drops are dropping, but 75 mil or so on the lower end of here is, I think, pretty safe of an assumption. Next you have Carapace, which is 100 million plus GP per hour solo. Now this is assuming you get 10 kills per hour, but the staff pieces are all around max cash now. And I'll leave a link as well. My friend Wazweir made a Reddit thread about this, calculating it. So 10 solo kills per hour is 100 mil per hour by the current prices of the Armadyl staff. So safe to say Carapace is really, really good. So next we have the God Wars 2 bosses. So we have Vindicta, which at 55 kills per hour, Vindicta is around 23 million GP. So at the upper end of here, we have Hellweir, which is around 20 mil per hour at 50 kills per hour. So we'll put him here. And then of course we have the Twin Furies, which are a bit lower, 14 mil per hour at 50 kills per hour. And then we have Greg, which is 20 mil an hour at 50 kills per hour. So, all the God Wars 2 bosses rank basically where I would think they were. I think they might have been a bit higher before, but prices on some of the items have dropped. They're easier to camp with all the new magic spells. You can, AFK Vindicta now, so it's no surprise that they've dropped a little bit. So next we have Telos. So if you can do, of course, this is about the maximum GP per hour based on your skill level. So if you can do 200 kill streaks or super high enrage claims, Telos is definitely over 100 mil per hour. Even though the orb prices have dropped, Dormant Siren Godbow is still a huge drop at like 1.4 bill. And then all the common loots from streaking super high is insanely good GP per hour. So Telos definitely ranks at 100 mil per hour and still is king. Well, one of the kings. Next, we have God Wars 1. So we have Kriara, which is around 7 mil per hour at 60 kills per hour. Then we have Sarah, which is around 4 mil per hour at 70 kills per hour. And then we have Bandos, which is around 4 mil per hour at 70 kills per hour. And then finally, we have Zamrock, which is around 6 mil per hour at 70 kills per hour. So basically the God Wars 1 bosses don't rank above 10 mil, but they're all pretty decent for such lower end bosses. And now we're moving on to Nex. So at 26 kills per hour, Nex is around 50 mil an hour. It's very close to being above, but I would say, you know, to be safe, around 50. You know what? No, I think Nex is about, when I had it at 52 mil per hour. So yeah, based on current prices, Nex is 52 mil an hour. If you get 26 kills per hour, you know, you got to be pretty fast, greater ricochet, banking super fast, all that stuff. So yeah, Nex is pretty good. And next we have AOD, which is one that I got extremely wrong a year ago because I had just not done it. I had no idea about it. And frankly, it was like my 5th video ever. So, you know, I wasn't the most prepared, but AOD is over 100 mil an hour with 21 kills per hour. So, you know, pretty insane. AOD has, you know, basically stayed a super good moneymaker for a long time. So it's no surprise it's still up there with all the demands for the prayers still. So after this, we have one of my favorite bosses, which is Raksha. And Raksha is over 100 mil an hour with 22 kills per hour solo. So pretty fast kills, but that's about the maximum. So 100 mil an hour. Greater ricochet is actually 1.7 bill, which, you know, that basically is all of your profit at Raksha. So really, really good. And then we have Magister, which I think has actually taken a dive. Magister is only about 26 to 28 mil per hour with 80 kills per hour. Kopesh's have crashed a ton since the Archglacior was released. The keys to the crossing have also crashed, but at the same time, Magister has definitely gone down. It is around that 25 mil per hour mark. So next we have Corporal Beast, which Corporal Beast is around 8 mil per hour with 50 kills per hour. Now, or 80 kills per hour, sorry. So 8 mil per hour at 80 kills per hour. So not that great, but definitely, I guess, on the upper echelon of this tier. Then we have QBD, which at 50 kills per hour is around 8 mil per hour. So down here as well. It's kind of no surprise. These are the bosses that are usually always down here. They're the oldest bosses and they're the easiest bosses. So it makes sense why they're so low. We have Calfight King next, which if you can solo Calfight King with 35 kills per hour, you're looking at around 33 million GP per hour. So up here in the 25 to 50 mil GP tier. So now we're getting into the big ones. So we have Rise of the Six, which is around 35 mil per hour if you get 35 kills per hour. So still pretty decent. I actually thought it would be higher, but I guess, you know, Malevolent isn't really used that much. The shields, while good, there's so many of them in the game. I guess it makes sense why Rots is much lower now. So now we have, I'll go Virago first. So for Virago, you can, based on what I've talked to Eva Lucario about, make over 100 mil per hour if you're soloing Virago with 4 kills per hour. And of course, to solo, it means you have to have like an alternate account to help you on the first phase or another person, and then you keep all the loot for yourself. So technically, Virago is over 100 mil per hour if you solo, but what most people do, duo, 4 kills per hour or 5 kills per hour actually is 60 mil per hour. So I'm kind of torn here. I'm going to put Virago here. It is technically possible to get around 100 mil per hour with solo, and this is based off the highest maximum. So what do you guys think? Should Virago be here in the 75 to 100 mil or in the 100 mil plus? Let me know. And then we have finally Solok, which Solok at 9 kills per hour, duoing Solok is 110 million GP per hour, putting Solok up here with the likes of Telos, Ambassador, Karapek, Next AOD, and Raksha, and that is all our bosses. So that is our tier list. Again, I got all the kill times per hour, basically the maximum kills from the resources below, like the PVME, talking to people, and then of course I calculated the loot using certain things like spreadsheets or RuneScape wiki, stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think. What is the most surprising boss on this list? For me, it's probably got to be Legio's being so high, and also Karapek being in the top tier. I did not expect that. You know, at first glance, I would be like, oh, you know, Glacier is probably better than Karapek. But Karapek, you know, the Staff of Armadyl is so expensive right now. So if you can do Karapek reliably, even in like Trio, it's really, really good GP per hour. So super surprised that that is so high. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. This is the final ranking, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Of course, this was a live commentary. Again, I don't do these a ton, so I'm sorry if I went off rambling at all, but I thought it was a fun video. It'll be a longer one. But yeah, I thought it would be a fun thing to kind of do the sequel to the old video. I'll link the old video at the end of this video in case you guys want to go watch that masterpiece of a video I made a year ago and see kind of how it compares, how things have changed over the past year. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.